Hey everybody. I had been asked recently to do a video breakdown on the song Hotel California. I'd had a couple different people ask, and so I thought, why not do a mini breakdown of my knowledge on that song? So, how many of you are familiar with the Eagles and Hotel California? Loved that song. It was a great song. There's a lot of rumors behind the song, though. There's a lot of different things behind it, a lot of hermetics as well. For one, on the cover of Hotel California, allegedly, there was a picture that had Anton LaVey with his arms outstretched in his black robe looking down over the balcony. But that actually, they say, was not true. It was actually filmed at the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Pink Palace. But people think it was the San Francisco Hotel, California, because Anton LaVey was a satanic priest. His name was Anton Szandor LaVey, aka Howard Stanley LaVey. He was born in 1930, April 11th, in Chicago, Illinois. So Anton LaVey, the Satanist, was born in Chicago, Illinois. And then he had an affair before Marilyn Monroe was popular. He had an affair, allegedly, with Marilyn Monroe. And he ended up dying in San Francisco in October of 97. So October 29th, 1997, he passed away. Like I was saying, he was an occultist. He was a musician. He wrote books. He was the head of the Church of Satan on Hotel Street. Not Hotel Street, California Street, the Church of Satan on Hotel. My words. I'm like, there's just so much to it. And I try not to laugh at parts because there's just so much to it that people don't know. It just, okay. Anyway, let me try that part again. Let's see if I edit that or if I just leave it. Fuck it. But he was the head of the Church of Satan, and it was actually on California Street. It was rumored that he had actually placed a curse on Jayne Mansfield, hence the actress, hence the car accident. You never know. Because at the beginning of Hotel California, it starts with the car driving. And were Henley and Frey thinking about Mansfield at that time during the crash? Was it? Who knows? You never know. In the first line of the song Hotel California, it says, "On a dark desert highway." The devil is also known as a prince of darkness. And he was with Jesus in the desert when he tried to tempt him when he was fasting for those 40 days and 40 nights. And then there she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. So I called up the captain. Now, The Exorcist in 1993 with Regan McNeil, she uses a Ouija board. And she actually summons someone who she calls, what'd she call him? Captain Howdy. But it's later revealed Captain Howdy is actually the demon Pazuzu. So I don't know how much you know about hermetics and demonology. I'll just give you the briefing on that because I'm not trying to teach you demonology, although I know it. But you need to be aware of the demons so that you know what to avoid. So in ancient Mesopotamian religion, Pazuzu was the king of the demons of the wind. The brother of Humumba and the sun god of Hanbi. I know my pronunciation's probably off, but whatever, you get it. He also represented the southern wind, and he was the bearer of storms and caused droughts. And he was said to have the body of a man, the head of either a lion or a dog, and he had talons like an eagle, and 2 pairs of wings, a scorpion's tail, and a serpentine penis. And he was standing with his right hand up and his left hand down, which is, for those who know Hermetics, that goes with as above, so below, or as within, as without. It comes with the philosophical and the religious, the esoteric tradition of Hermeticism, which follows Hermes' teachings, Hermes Trismegistus. More specifically, the phrase descended from the school of thought of the Emerald Tablets, which states that that which is below corresponds to that which is above. And this is a meditation, a web and flow of the universe. Whatever happens on any level of reality, it's going to happen equally on each level. Kind of reminded me of Matthew 16:19. I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth, you will be bound in heaven. And so whatsoever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Another part on the song, please bring me my wine. Jesus turned water into wine and gave it to his disciples during the Last Supper, saying, this is my blood, the blood of the new everlasting covenant. And it was shed for you and for all men, so that the sins may be forgiven. And do this in my memory. And then he says in the song, we haven't had the Spirit here since 1969. There's a lot of hermetics behind it. I don't want to get too into that one. But the moon landing happened that year. Crescent moon, symbol of the aging goddess, crone, witchcraft. And the master's chamber, they gather for the feast. Which is Sabbath? Which is Sabbath. Now, years later, during an interview, because I looked up some excerpts from different interviews and different stuff, Irving Azoff, the Eagles manager, he had received an award, and Don Henley took a presentation. They went and, he had said, gosh, I don't even like this. I don't even like to repeat it. So Don Henley took to the presentation stage, and he said, he may be Satan, but he's our Satan. Not mine. I'm just repeating the quotes. And then the Eagles split up in 1980, and they had vowed only to reunite when hell froze over. Well, guess what? 14 years later, I guess hell froze over in 94, because they made an album and titled it Hell Freezes Over. And in a conversation with Don Henley back in 2003, during the very best of the Hotel California, they had said that they were actually going to name the movie Mexican Reggae. But they didn't. And he was saying that driving through Los Angeles at night, you could feel the flow of energy, and that the lights of Hollywood and Los Angeles, you could see them for 100 miles out into the desert and on the horizon. And he said that all these images would start coming into your mind of the propaganda and the advertisements you experienced in California. In other words, the movie stars, Hollywood, the bikinis, the women, the palm trees, the images you see, the people, everything. It's all running through your mind. And you anticipate that you have this expectation of what California is, they were talking about. And then Don Henley said, put it this way, we were all middle-class kids from the Midwest, And Hotel California was our interpretation of the high life in Los Angeles. And then also during a interview on 60 Minutes in 2007, in November 25th, 2007, it was talking about weed and what colitas were. Because those who are not familiar with colitas, that is marijuana, the fresh smell of colitas in the air. It's either interpreted as sexual slang or in reference to marijuana. When they asked Don Fedler the term, he said that it was used in, he said he meant it in that, where's the quote? The colitas in the plant that grew in the desert that bloom at night. I'm trying to sound proper. Wow, I had no accent there. You wouldn't believe I'm Hispanic. Oh my God. Anyway, it's funny. He said that the colitas is a plant that grows in the desert that blooms at night, and that it has a pungent smell, and it smells funky. And Don Henley came up with the lyrics that said about colitas. It's funny. But anyway, the Eagles' aim was for full sensory experience in their songwritings. That's what Felder said. When we try to write the lyrics, we try to write lyrics that touch multiple senses, things you can see, smell, taste, and hear. I heard the mission bell, or the warm smell of colitas, talking about being able to relate something through your sense of smell, your olfactory. Because your olfactory nerves, your sense of smell, will trigger memories. And Glenn Frey compared the song to an episode in The Twilight Zone, where it jumps from one scene to the next, but doesn't really necessarily make any type of sense. He said that the success of the song comes from the audience creating stories in their mind based on the images. Sounds a bit predictive programming to me. I could go into the hermetics of the song and break down the sacred sciences to it and the numbers and the rest. But right now I'm just kind of doing a basic overview. What do you think of Hotel California? What is your knowledge on the song? Well, tell me your breakdowns and your interpretations. I'd love to share. Let's see what we could all come up with and put together, because all of us have something to add. So let's add together. In the song Hotel California, they bring up the demon Pazuzu. So I'm sharing some of my notes on Pazuzu with you. I'm sharing not because I want to teach you demonology, but simply to expose the tricks of the devil, because many people are blind during these times, and they don't realize what's behind music and television, and they follow blindly. So Pazuzu is mentioned in the Simon Necronomicon, a publication of Avon Books that purports to document the incantations to invoke incredible beings, monsters, and put these things into a visible form. He is described as being the lord of all fevers and plagues, grinning dark angel of the four wings, horned with rotting genitalia. And as the brother of Humwamwa, the book claims that he is amongst the most fearsome of all entities, stating in part, "It is the able magician indeed who can remove Pazuzu once he has laid hold on man, for Pazuzu lays hold unto death." It relates how Simon and his associates were introduced to the Greek translation of the Necronomicon by a mysterious monk. Simon claims that after experimenting with the text, they verified that the works were genuine and had a bunch of true magical rituals that predicts most known religions and warns that anyone attempting to use the Necronomicon may unleash dangerous forces. The introduction attempts to establish links between H.P. Lovecraft Aleister Crowley, and ancient mythology. So basically, witchcraft, masonry, the dark arts, the occult, and which more just Satanism and Luciferianism. Some of it discussed is based on supposed connection between Crowley and Lovecraft's first espoused by Kenneth Grant. The prologue explains how the Arab first came to discover the dark secrets that he was recording, accidentally witnessing an arcane ritual performed by a cult that worships Tiamat, in which the demons Cthulhu and Hamwawa are conjured. In the epilogue, the mad Arab, he's haunted by premonitions of his gruesome death. He realizes that the horrors of the Necronomicon are enraged and seek revenge upon him for revealing they exist to the world. The text is littered with non-sequester and arcane incantations, presented as indication of his unstable mental state and his desire to protect himself from perceived danger. He is unable to sign his work and thus remains nameless. So the author of this, although verified for safety reasons, chooses to remain nameless. People need to learn what they're following. You're following demons and devils and doctrines of Luciferian liars.